My name is Selena Vance, and I am 28 years old. Last Mother's Day, my mother sent me a bill for $347,000. The subject line read, "The cost of raising a disappointment." She copied every single relative in our family, 48 people, from aunts and uncles to cousins and in-laws, scattered from Florida to Washington State. She thought I would cry. She thought I would apologize. She thought I would shrink into myself, the way I always had. But this time, I replied with a single photograph. By the next morning, 47 of them had blocked her. The 48th, my grandmother, did not block her. She did something far worse. Before I tell you what that photograph was and what my grandmother did, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from and what time it is there. Now, let me start from the beginning. I work as a financial analyst at a mid-sized accounting firm in Boston. Numbers make sense to me. They do not lie. They do not play favorites. They do not tell you one thing and mean another. People, especially my family, are a different story. My apartment is small, 600 square feet in a quiet neighborhood. Nothing fancy, but it is mine. I have paid the rent myself since I was 22. No help from anyone. My sister, Vanessa, is 3 years older. She just bought a 4-bedroom colonial in a wealthy suburb. Our parents gifted her the down payment, $80,000, wrapped in a bow of, "We are so proud of you." I found out about it through her social media post. When I graduated college, I got a text from my mother. "Congratulations." 3 weeks late. No exclamation point. When Vanessa made junior partner at her law firm, they threw her a party. Catered. Champagne. The whole family flew in. I do not say this to complain. I stopped expecting anything different a long time ago. You learn to measure your worth in things you can control. Your work. Your savings account. The peace of your own space. My boyfriend, Julian, of 2 years, asks me sometimes why I still go to family gatherings. Why I still pick up when my mother calls. Why I let her comments slide off me like water. I never have a good answer. Maybe part of me kept hoping. Maybe part of me thought that if I just tried harder, stayed quieter, caused less trouble, she would finally look at me the way she looks at Vanessa. Working in finance taught me one important lesson: numbers do not lie. People do. I just did not know how much my mother had been lying until last year. The pattern started long before I could name it. My college graduation, 2019. I walked across the stage at Boston University, magna cum laude, finance degree in hand. I searched the crowd for my family. My father was there, smiling, waving. The seat next to him was empty. My mother had gotten sick that morning. A migraine, she said. Too severe to make the 2-hour drive. 1 week later, she flew to New York for Vanessa's firm award ceremony. Posted 12 photos on social media. So proud of my brilliant lawyer daughter. I liked the post. That is what you do. Growing up, Vanessa was our future attorney. I was the difficult one. Vanessa got praise for her grades. I got questions about why mine were not higher. Vanessa's achievements were celebrated. Mine were expected. Or overlooked. My father tried, in his quiet way. He would pat my shoulder after my mother's sharper comments. "Your mother means well," he would say. "She just has a harder time expressing it with you." I used to believe him. When it came time for college, both Vanessa and I were supposed to have education funds. My grandparents had set them up when we were kids. Same amount for each of us. Vanessa graduated debt-free. I graduated with $67,000 in student loans. My mother told me my fund ran out faster because of unexpected expenses during high school. Tutoring, she said. Summer programs. Things I needed. I did not question it then. Why would I? She was my mother. But numbers have a way of telling the truth, even when people do not. And 3 years ago, I started looking at the numbers. 2 weeks before Mother's Day, my mother announced her plan. A family reunion. Not just our immediate family. Everyone. All the aunts and uncles. All the cousins. Their spouses and kids. 48 people total, gathering at my grandmother's farmhouse in Connecticut. "It has been too long since we have all been together," my mother said in the family group chat. "Let us make this Mother's Day special." I stared at my phone for a long time. Julian was making dinner when I told him. He paused, spatula in hand. "You do not have to go," he said. "She is my mother." "That does not mean." "I know." I took the phone from his hand and set it aside. "I know." The next day, Vanessa called. Her voice was sweet as sugar. "Hey, so you're coming early to help set up, right?" "Like usual." "Like usual." Meaning I would arrive at dawn to cook and clean while she showed up at noon with an expensive bottle of wine and a designer dress. "Sure," I said. "Like usual." After we hung up, I sat at my laptop. There is a folder I keep buried 3 levels deep. I named it Insurance. Just a word. Just a precaution. I had not opened it in months. That night, I opened it. 3 files inside. A screenshot. A PDF. A spreadsheet. I had been collecting these for 3 years, ever since I stumbled across something I was not supposed to see. I told myself I was keeping them just in case, that I would probably never use them. I closed the laptop and went to bed, but I could not sleep. Something about the way my mother had announced this gathering, the size of it, the timing, the way she had insisted everyone attend, felt like the setup to something. I just did not know I was the punchline. Mother's Day morning. I arrived at my grandmother's farmhouse at 7. The sun was barely up. Dew clung to the grass. The old white colonial looked the same as it always had. Wraparound porch. Blue shutters. The kind of house that holds generations of memories. Not all of them good. I spent the next 4 hours cooking, cleaning, arranging flowers, setting the long table in the dining room with the good china. 48 place settings. 48 cloth napkins. 48 chances for something to go wrong. Vanessa arrived at 11:30. She swept in wearing a cream silk dress, carrying a bouquet of flowers that probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget. She kissed my mother on both cheeks. She complimented the decorations, the ones I had put up. "Everything looks perfect," she said to my mother. "You outdid yourself." My mother smiled. "I had a little help." She did not look at me when she said it. By noon, the house was full. Aunts and uncles I saw once a year. Cousins I barely knew. Their kids running through the hallways. Noise and laughter and the smell of the roast I had been preparing since dawn. My mother moved through the crowd like a queen. Accepting hugs. Accepting compliments. Accepting the spotlight. I stayed near the kitchen. During the family photo, my mother positioned everyone on the porch steps. She placed Vanessa right beside her. When I stepped forward, she glanced at me. "Selena, honey, stand in the back. You're taller. You will block everyone." I stood in the back. That is when my grandmother appeared beside me. She squeezed my elbow. Her grip was firm for a 78-year-old woman. "Whatever happens today," she said quietly, "hold your ground. You hear me?" I did not understand. Not yet. The toasts began after lunch. My uncle went first, raising his glass to the heart of our family. My aunt followed with tears in her eyes about sisterhood. Cousin after cousin stood up, praising mothers, praising my mother specifically, praising the woman who had sacrificed everything. I stayed quiet. I had learned long ago that my voice was not wanted in these moments. Then my mother stood up. She smoothed her lavender dress. She picked up her wine glass. The room fell silent with practiced reverence. "Thank you all for being here," she began. Her voice carried that warm, practiced tone, the one she used for audiences. Being a mother is the most rewarding job in the world, but also the hardest. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room. I have been blessed with 2 daughters. 2 very different daughters. She paused, letting the weight of the word settle. One who has made me proud every single day, and one who has tested me. Eyes shifted toward me. I felt them like heat. I have thought long and hard about how to express what motherhood really means. The sacrifices we make. The costs we bear. She reached into her pocket and pulled out her phone. "So I have prepared something special. A gift, you might say, for all of you. And for one daughter in particular." Her thumb moved across the screen. Around the room, phones began to buzz. Ding after ding after ding. 48 notifications in rapid succession. "I want everyone to see exactly what it cost," my mother said, her eyes finding mine, to raise a disappointment. The room went still. And in that silence, I understood what my grandmother had tried to warn me about. This was not a family reunion. This was an execution. 48 phones lit up simultaneously. I watched hands reach for devices, watched faces bend toward screens, watched expressions shift from curiosity to discomfort to shock. The email subject line, the cost of raising a disappointment. The body, an itemized spreadsheet. 28 years of my existence, reduced to line items. Hospital birth costs, $12,400. Diapers, first 2 years, $2,800. Childhood clothing, $15,600. Braces, $8,000. Summer camps, $4,500. First car, $12,000. College room and board, $48,000. Cell phone bills, $8,400. On and on it went. $347,000. My mother read selections aloud, her voice carrying across the silent room. Orthodontia, $8,000. Does she ever say thank you? Birthday parties, $1,200 over 18 years. Did she ever appreciate a single one? Someone laughed nervously. Someone else shifted in their chair. I stood frozen by the kitchen doorway. 48 pairs of eyes on me. Some pitying, some entertained, some looking away in discomfort. This is what a thankless child costs, my mother continued. This is what disappointment looks like. In dollars and cents. She had framed a printed copy, literally framed it, in a gilded frame that matched my grandmother's decor. She walked to the mantel and hung it above the fireplace, right next to the family portrait. A reminder, she said, turning back to face me, for all of us. The room waited for me to cry, to apologize, to shrink. I had done it before. Every family gathering, every holiday, every phone call. I had swallowed the humiliation and smiled through it. My hands should have been shaking. They were not. Because buried in my phone was a folder named Insurance, and my mother had just given me permission to open it. For 10 seconds, I did not move. I let the silence stretch. Let my mother bask in what she thought was victory. Let the room hold its collective breath, waiting for the familiar script. Selena apologizes. Selena cries. Selena makes everyone uncomfortable. And my mother gets to play the long-suffering parent. I had played that role for 28 years. Not today. My mind flashed through memories. Every Christmas where my gifts were afterthoughts. Every report card that earned criticism instead of praise. Every time I had said, I am sorry, for existing in a way that inconvenienced her. I thought about the nights I had spent in my apartment staring at credit reports I could not understand. The calls with IRS agents about tax returns I had never filed. The apartment applications rejected because of a credit score I had never earned. I thought about the folder on my phone. 3 files. 3 years of quiet documentation. 3 chances to prove that the disappointment label was not just unfair. It was a cover story. I looked around the room. Vanessa was whispering something to her husband, a smirk on her face. My father was staring at his plate. My grandmother sat perfectly still, her eyes on me. She gave me the smallest nod. My hand went to my phone. I opened it, navigated past the home screen, past the apps, past the folders. There it was. Insurance. 3 files inside. A screenshot. A PDF. A spreadsheet. My heart was calm. My breath was steady. Mom, I said. My voice cut through the silence like a blade. Since we are sharing numbers today, I have some of my own. The smirk on her face flickered. What are you doing? I smiled. The first genuine smile I had worn all day. Balancing the books. I walked toward the center of the room. Every step echoed against the hardwood floor. Conversations had died completely. Even the children in the hallway had gone quiet, sensing something in the air. Keep your phones handy, I said. My voice was steady, professional, the same tone I used in client presentations. Because I am about to send you something, too. Selena. My mother's tone had shifted. A warning edge. This is not the time. Actually, it is the perfect time. I stopped beside her, close enough to see the mascara she had carefully applied. Close enough to see the first flicker of fear beneath her confidence. You calculated what I cost you, Mom? Seems only fair I calculate what you cost me. I opened my email app. Selected all 48 family contacts. Selena, whatever you think you are doing. I am doing exactly what you taught me. I looked up at her, held her gaze. Showing receipts. I pressed send. The familiar chorus of notification sounds filled the room. Ding, ding, ding. One after another, spreading through the crowd like dominoes falling. My mother's face paled slightly. What did you just send? The truth. I slipped my phone back into my pocket. You have numbers, Mom. I have documents. Movement caught my eye. My grandmother had risen from her chair, but she was not moving to stop this. She was pulling her seat closer. Front row. A few relatives were already opening the email. I saw their expressions change. Confusion first, then something else. My uncle was the first to look up at my mother with a different kind of expression. Linda, he said slowly. What is this? My mother's composure cracked. Just for a moment. The performance was about to get interesting. Now, before I show you exactly what was in that email, I have to ask, how many of you have a folder like mine? Evidence you have been collecting, hoping you would never have to use it. Drop a 1 in the comments if you know exactly what I am talking about. And if you are watching this late at night, unable to sleep because family drama is keeping you up, you are not alone. Hit subscribe and let us get through this together. Okay, back to that dining room. The email contained 3 attachments. I started with the first one. Mom, you charged me for my college education in your little bill. Room and board. Textbooks. Living expenses. I paused. But here is the thing. I paid for college myself. $67,000 in student loans. I am still paying them off. Murmurs rippled through the room. That is because my college fund ran out, right? That is what you told me. I pulled up the PDF on my phone, projecting a calm I did not entirely feel. Except I work in finance now, and I know how to trace money. I turned to face the room. Grandma and Grandpa set up education trusts for both Vanessa and me when we were children. Same amount, $89,000 each. I let that number sink in. Vanessa used hers. Graduated debt-free. I pointed to the screen on my phone. My trust was withdrawn in full on August 3, 2016, 1 month before I started college. The money was transferred to an account belonging to Linda Moore. My aunt's hand went to her mouth. $89,000, I repeated. Gone into my mother's personal account. 1 week later, I swiped to the next document. She purchased a new luxury car. Cash. That money was for family expenses. My mother's voice rose, defensive. You do not understand. I understand bank records. I kept my voice level. I understand wire transfers. I understand that you stole my college fund and let me drown in debt while you drove a brand new car. My father stood up slowly from his chair. His face had gone pale. Linda, he said quietly, is this true? My mother opened her mouth to respond, but I was not finished yet. That is just the beginning, I said. The room had grown colder somehow. Or maybe it was just the way people were looking at my mother now, with less sympathy, more scrutiny. I opened the second attachment. A spreadsheet. For the past 2 years, I have been getting strange letters from the IRS. Audits. Notices about discrepancies. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I scrolled through the document. Then I hired a CPA to dig deeper. I turned the phone so people nearby could see the screen. Columns of numbers. Dates. Filings. From 2018 to 2024, my mother claimed me as a dependent on her federal taxes. 6 consecutive years. My cousin frowned. So, parents claim their kids all the time. I was 22 in 2018, I said. Living in my own apartment. Paying my own rent. My own insurance. My own everything. I have not been anyone's dependent since I was 21. The implication landed. I watched it spread across faces. Each year, she received between $4,000 and $6,000 in tax benefits from claiming me. I did the math out loud. Total, approximately $32,000. Tax fraud. Using my social security number. My uncle, a retired accountant, spoke up. His voice was grim. That is a federal crime. I know. I looked at my mother. I had to hire a CPA to clean up the mess. $3,400 out of my own pocket to fix what you did. My father's hands were gripping the edge of the table. Linda, you told me Selena agreed to this arrangement. Richard, stay out of this. But it was too late for that. The room was shifting. The narrative was changing. And I still had one more file to show them. I let the silence build. My mother was looking at me differently now. The confidence was gone. In its place was something I had rarely seen on her face. Uncertainty. There is one more thing, I said quietly. I did not open the third file yet. Instead, I asked her a question. Mom, do you remember when I applied for my first apartment after college? The one in Cambridge? She did not answer. I got rejected. The landlord told me my credit score was 520. I paused. I was 22 years old. A score that said I was a financial disaster. I had never missed a payment in my life. I had never even had a credit card. Understanding dawned in a few faces around the room. So I pulled my credit report. And do you know what I found? I opened the third attachment. Bank statements. Credit card applications. All bearing my name. 3 credit cards. Opened in 2016, 2017, and 2018. All using my name and social security number. All maxed out. I let the number land like a hammer. $47,000 in debt on my record. For purchases I never made. My aunt gasped. This is identity theft. Linda, my uncle said flatly, this is a federal crime. It took me 4 years to clear my name, I continued. 2 lawyers. Hundreds of hours on the phone. But I kept everything. Every document. Every statement. Every piece of evidence. Movement at the edge of the room. Vanessa was standing up, reaching for her purse. Sit down, Vanessa. She froze. You are not going anywhere. I met her eyes. Because one of those credit cards, the statements were shipped to your address. The color drained from my sister's face. I did not know, Vanessa started. Do not. My voice was calm, cold. I have the shipping receipts. Your address. Your signature on delivery confirmations. The room turned to look at my sister. The golden child. The one who could do no wrong. You received packages in my name for 3 years. Designer bags. Electronics. Jewelry. I pulled up one particular receipt. Including an engagement ring. $8,400. Charged to a card with my name on it. Vanessa's husband stared at her hand. At the diamond glittering under the dining room lights. You wore my stolen identity to your wedding, I said. Did you know? Or did you just not want to know? Vanessa's voice cracked. Mom said it was an emergency. She said you would not find out. An emergency that lasted for years? Buying designer bags was an emergency. My aunt rose from her seat, her face ashen. Victoria, how could you? I did not know it was illegal. Vanessa's composure shattered. Tears streamed down her face. Real ones, maybe. Or maybe just the performance she had learned from our mother. She told me you would never check. She told you to help her steal from me. I finished the sentence. And you did. The murmurs had grown to open conversation now. Relatives talking to each other. Voices rising. Some in shock. Some in anger. Some already standing, reaching for coats and car keys. But there was one more thing. The screenshot. I had not opened it yet. The one I had been holding for 3 years. The one that explained everything. I looked at my mother. She was pale now. Trembling. There is one more file, I said. But this one is the big one. My mother saw the shift in the room. She felt it slipping away from her. So she did what she had always done. She changed tactics. Her shoulders began to shake. Her eyes glistened with tears. She pressed a hand to her chest like she was struggling to breathe. I cannot believe this, she said, her voice cracking beautifully. I gave everything to this child. Everything. And this is how she repays me. A few relatives hesitated. Old habits die hard. We are trained from birth to comfort a crying mother. I made mistakes, yes. But I did it for the family. Everything I did was for the family. She reached for my father's arm. Richard, tell them. Tell them I only wanted what was best for everyone. My father stood rigid. His jaw worked silently. He did not move toward her. My mother turned to my grandmother. Mama, please say something. You know me. You know I am not a monster. My grandmother remained seated. Her face was stone. I am listening, Linda, she said quietly. I am listening to everything. My mother's desperation showed now. The performance was cracking at the edges. Fine. Her voice hardened. Something dangerous flickered in her eyes. You want to play this game, Selena? You want to air dirty laundry in front of everyone? She stepped toward me. Close. Too close. Then let us talk about why, she hissed. Let us talk about why I have treated you differently your whole life. There are things you do not know. Things I have protected you from. A warning. A threat. There are things about you, little girl, that would change everything. She thought she still had leverage. She thought her secret was bigger than mine. She was wrong. You are right, Mom. I said. There is something I do not know. Or did not know until 3 years ago. My mother's eyes widened slightly. Just a fraction. What are you talking about? 3 years ago, I was at Vanessa's apartment. She left her phone on the kitchen counter while she went to take a call. A message came through. I kept my voice even. From you. The color was draining from my mother's face now. I was not going to read it. But your name was there. And the preview showed something I could not ignore. Selena. Her voice was a warning. So I took a screenshot. Do not. And I have had it for 3 years. I pulled up my phone. 3 years of you humiliating me at every holiday, every birthday, every family gathering. 3 years of swallowing your insults and saying nothing. My mother's composure finally cracked. Real fear showed in her eyes. I never used it, I continued. I told myself I never would. That it was not my secret to tell. That maybe you had a reason for being the way you are. Please. The word came out broken. Please, Selena. Whatever you think you know. I did not come here today planning to do this. My voice was steady. But you did, Mom. You planned this whole thing. You wanted to humiliate me in front of everyone. You wanted to make me the villain of your story. I held up my phone. So now I am going to tell the truth. If you ever loved me, my mother started. Loved you. I felt something crack in my chest. I spent my entire life trying to earn your love. Turns out I never had a chance. I opened the email app. Selected all 48 contacts. Attached the screenshot. My thumb hovered over send. This is why, I said quietly. This is why you have hated me since the day I was born. I pressed send. The notifications erupted. 48 phones. 48 dings. One after another. A cascade of digital alerts that filled the silent room like gunfire. My mother lunged toward me. Delete it. Make them delete it. Her voice was ragged, desperate. My uncle caught her arm. Linda, stop. But everyone was already looking. Already reading. I watched their faces as the screenshot loaded on their screens. Confusion first. Then the slow dawning of comprehension. Then shock. My aunt's hand flew to her mouth. My uncle sat down heavily. My cousin dropped his phone entirely. The screenshot was a text message from Linda Moore to Victoria Moore. Dated July 15th, 3 years ago. It read, "This one is not Richard's biological child. Do not tell anyone. If he finds out, he will divorce me and I will lose everything." The room went absolutely still. Then my father spoke. Linda. His voice was barely a whisper. What is this? My mother was shaking. All the color gone from her face. It is not, I can explain. That is not what it is. Is it true? The question hung in the air. 28 years of marriage. 28 years of loving a daughter who might not be his. My mother could not speak. It was Vanessa, ironic, traitorous Vanessa, who confirmed it. It is real, she said quietly. Her voice was hollow. She sent it to me 3 years ago. Made me promise never to say anything. My father made a sound. A wounded animal sound. He turned and walked toward the door. Richard. My mother reached for him. He did not look back. The front door opened. Closed. I heard his car engine start. Heard it pull away. And standing in the wreckage of her own making, my mother finally looked at me. Not with anger. With something worse. Fear. The silence that followed was unlike anything I had ever experienced. 47 people processing the same information simultaneously. 28 years of family history rewritten in a single text message. I was not Richard Moore's biological daughter. The man who had taught me to ride a bike, who had helped me with math homework, who had walked me to school on my first day. He was not my biological father. And my mother had known all along. Suddenly, everything made sense. The differential treatment, the constant criticism, the way she looked at me like I was a reminder of something she wanted to forget. I was not a disappointment. I was evidence. You spent 28 years punishing me, I said quietly. Not because I was not good enough. Because every time you looked at me, you saw your own mistake. My mother's mouth opened, closed, opened again. I was 17, she finally said. 17 and stupid. It was one time. I do not care about what happened 29 years ago. My voice was steady. I care about what happened every day after. Every insult. Every comparison to Vanessa. Every time you made me feel worthless. My grandmother rose from her chair. She moved slowly toward my mother. For a moment, I thought she was going to comfort her daughter. Instead, she stopped 3 feet away and looked at her with an expression I had never seen before. Disgust. I suspected, my grandmother said quietly. For years, I suspected something was not right. The way you treated that girl. She shook her head. But I never imagined this. Mama, please. 28 years. My grandmother continued. You lied to everyone. To Richard. To the entire family. She paused. To me. My mother started to cry. Real tears now. I could tell the difference. But no one moved to comfort her. The room fractured. People began moving all at once. Voices overlapped. Shocked whispers. Angry questions. The scrape of chairs being pushed back. I cannot believe this. 28 years of lying. Poor Richard. God, poor Richard. My aunt grabbed her purse and headed for the door without a word. My uncle followed, shaking his head. Another cousin was already on her phone, probably calling someone who had not made it to the reunion. Those who stayed looked at my mother differently now. Not with the deference she had cultivated for decades. With something closer to revulsion. Everything I did for this family, my mother screamed. Her composure was completely gone. Mascara ran down her cheeks in black rivers. I kept us together. I protected everyone from the truth. You protected yourself, my aunt corrected quietly. That is all you ever did, Linda. Around the room, phones were buzzing. The exodus had begun in the family group chat, too. I caught glimpses over shoulders. People leaving the conversation. Blocking contacts. Typing furious messages. My mother lunged for my phone. Delete it. Make everyone delete it. My uncle and Vanessa's husband held her back. I stood motionless in the center of it all, watching 28 years of carefully constructed lies collapse in real time. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. Gentle. Warm. My grandmother. Come with me, she said softly. She guided me through the chaos. Past relatives who reached out to touch my arm. Past cousins who said things like, I am so sorry, and I had no idea. We stopped by the front door. Through the glass, I could see the driveway was emptying. Cars pulling out one after another. You are still my granddaughter, my grandmother said firmly. Blood or no blood. That does not change. I believed her. I found my father in the parking lot. His car was still there, engine running. He had not made it past the end of the driveway. Through the windshield, I could see him sitting motionless, both hands on the steering wheel, staring at nothing. I knocked on the passenger window. He did not respond at first. Then, slowly, like waking from a dream, he reached over and unlocked the door. I slid into the seat beside him. We sat in silence. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the hood. Inside the house, I could still hear muffled voices. Arguments. Crying. I am sorry, I finally said. My father turned to look at me. His eyes were red. Do not, he said. Do not you dare apologize. You did not do anything wrong. I never wanted to hurt you. He laughed. A broken, painful sound. 28 years, he said. 28 years I have loved you. Changed your diapers. Taught you how to drive. Helped you move into your dorm. His voice cracked. DNA does not change that. I felt tears prick my eyes. The first ones all day. You are still my dad. And you are still my daughter. He reached over and squeezed my hand. That is the only thing I am sure of right now. Whatever else happens, that does not change. We sat there for a long moment. Father and daughter, bound by something stronger than biology. I need to go, he finally said. I cannot be in that house right now. I cannot look at her. I know. He pulled me into a hug, awkward over the center console, but fierce. You were braver than me today, he said into my hair. You were braver than I have ever been. Then he let go, put the car in gear, and drove away. I walked back into the house. The crowd had thinned dramatically. Maybe 15 people remained, most of them looking shell-shocked and unsure whether to stay or go. The framed bills still hung above the fireplace, a monument to my mother's cruelty that now seemed almost pathetic. My mother sat alone on the couch. Her hair had come loose from its careful styling. Her makeup was destroyed. She looked smaller somehow, like the revelation had physically diminished her. For the first time, I did not see the tyrant who had ruled my childhood. I saw a 54-year-old woman whose entire life had just collapsed. I should have felt victorious. I did not. She looked up as I approached. Her eyes were hollow. Are you happy now? Her voice was hoarse. You have destroyed everything. No, Mom. I sat down in the chair across from her. You did that 28 years ago. I just stopped helping you hide it. A sob escaped her. Raw and ugly. I was 17, she said again. I was so scared when I realized I was pregnant and it might not be Richard's. I panicked. I thought if I just never told anyone. You thought if you made everyone hate me first, nobody would believe me when the truth came out. She did not deny it. Every time you looked at me, you saw your mistake, I continued. So you spent almost 3 decades trying to make me disappear. Make me the problem. The disappointment. The one nobody would miss if I just stopped showing up. My mother covered her face with her hands. I did not know how else to protect myself, she whispered. By destroying me. She had no answer to that. Nobody ever does. I want you to understand something, I said quietly. I did not do this to destroy you. I did it because I needed the truth. 48 people needed to know I am not the disappointment you made me out to be. My mother looked up. Mascara streaked. Broken. Dad needed to know why you treated me the way you did. And you, I paused. You needed to know that I have had this evidence for 3 years. Her eyes widened slightly. 3 years, she repeated. 3 years of you humiliating me at every holiday, every birthday, every phone call. And I never said a word. I leaned forward. I only used it today because you forced my hand in front of everyone with your little bill. The irony was not lost on her. I could see it register. From now on, I continued, I do not need you to acknowledge me. I do not need you to love me. I stopped expecting that a long time ago. I stood up. I only need one thing from you. Leave me alone. That is my boundary. Respect it. You cannot just. I can. My voice was still wrapped in steel. And if you cross it, if you show up at my door or contact my employer or try to poison anyone else against me, the next conversation will not be in front of family. I held her gaze. It will be with the IRS and the police. Identity theft. Tax fraud. Theft of my education fund. I have everything documented. My mother's face went white. I walked toward the door. Goodbye, Mom. She did not call after me. For the first time in 28 years, my hands were not shaking. They were perfectly still. Now, if you have made it this far, I need to know, was I right to expose everything in front of the whole family, or should I have handled it privately? Drop a comment with public or private and tell me why. Also, can we talk about my grandmother for a second? She has been suspiciously calm this whole time, and what she did next changed everything. But first, if this story is hitting different for you tonight, subscribe. We are not done yet. Back to that night. Julian was waiting when I got home. He did not ask questions right away. He just pulled me into a hug that lasted 3 full minutes, then made me tea and sat beside me on the couch. I told him everything. When I finished, I finally let myself look at my phone. I had been avoiding it on the drive home. The notifications were overwhelming. The family group chat was chaos. Message after message. People sharing their shock, their anger, their sudden clarity about years of witnessing my mother's behavior and never questioning it. And then the blocks started showing. One by one, family members were removing Linda more from their contacts, leaving group chats, unfollowing on social media. By midnight, I counted 47. Private messages flooded my inbox. I had no idea. I am so sorry for never stepping in. My aunt, you were so brave today. I wish I had half your courage. My cousin, I always thought something was off. I should have trusted my instincts. My uncle, the one that made me cry came from my other aunt, my mother's own sister. I failed you, sweetheart. For 28 years, I watched and said nothing. That ends today. I scrolled through each message, each apology, each expression of support that came decades too late, but still mattered. Julian pointed at my screen. What about the 48th person? Your grandmother. I checked. No block from her. But there was a text sent at 11:47 p.m. I need to see you tomorrow. 9 in the morning. My house. Come alone. I stared at those words. Something was happening. Something beyond the immediate fallout. Whatever my grandmother was planning, she had clearly been thinking about it since the moment that screenshot appeared on everyone's phones. Maybe even before. My grandmother's farmhouse looked different in the morning light. Quieter. Emptier. The remnants of yesterday's chaos had been cleaned away. The tables cleared. The chairs returned to their places. The framed bill notably absent from the mantel. The front door was open. I walked through the familiar hallway to the study at the back of the house. My grandmother sat behind her oak desk. Papers were spread in front of her, official-looking documents covered in dense paragraphs and signatures. She was not alone. A man in a gray suit stood beside her. I recognized him. Thomas Jameson, the family's estate attorney. I had met him once at my grandfather's funeral. Sit down, dear, my grandmother said. I took the chair across from her. My heart was beating faster than I wanted it to. I did not block your mother, my grandmother said directly. Do you want to know why? Yes, because blocking her would have been a kindness. Her voice was iron. What I did instead is permanent. She slid a document across the desk toward me. At 2:17 this morning, I called Thomas. Woke him from a dead sleep. By 4, we had finalized new paperwork. She tapped the document. My will has been changed. I looked at the paper. Legal language swam before my eyes. I do not understand. Your mother was originally set to receive 35% of my estate. That has been reduced to 5%. My grandmother's eyes met mine. Just enough that she cannot challenge it on grounds of being completely disinherited. My breath caught. Your share has increased from 10% to 30%. She paused. Your father's portion remains the same. He is a victim in this too. Grandma, I was not expecting. I know. Her voice softened. That is precisely why you deserve it. Thomas Jameson cleared his throat. For clarity, Mrs. Harrison has redistributed her estate as follows. Thank you, Thomas. I will explain. My grandmother took the document back. This is not about punishment. This is about justice. She stood and walked to the window, looking out over the property, acres of Connecticut farmland that had been in our family for 3 generations. I started suspecting something was wrong years ago, she said quietly. The way Linda treated you. The excuses. The favoritism so blatant it made me uncomfortable. She turned back to face me. When your grandfather was alive, we tried to intervene. We set up that education trust specifically because we worried Linda would manage things poorly. Her expression darkened. We never imagined she would steal from her own child. You could not have known. I should have looked harder. My grandmother's voice cracked just slightly. I should have asked more questions. When you graduated with all that debt, I offered to help. But Linda told me you refused. Said you wanted to prove you could do it yourself. My jaw tightened. Another lie. Another manipulation. I believed her. My grandmother shook her head. I will not make that mistake again. She reached into her desk drawer and pulled out an envelope. Cream-colored. Thick. My name was written on it in her careful handwriting. This is the graduation gift I tried to give you 6 years ago. Linda intercepted it. Told me you did not want it. I opened the envelope. Inside was a check for $50,000, dated 2020, and beneath it, a handwritten letter. To my granddaughter Selena, may your future be brighter than anyone expects. You have always been special. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Love, Grandma. The tears came before I could stop them. I was walking to my car when Vanessa appeared. She must have been waiting outside, watching for me to leave. Her face was puffy from crying. No makeup. Hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She looked more human than I had seen her in years. Selena, wait. I stopped. Did not turn around. Please, she said. Just 2 minutes. I turned. Waited. Vanessa took a shaky breath. I know I do not deserve anything from you. I know that. You are right. You do not. But I need you to understand. She struggled with the words. I did not know about the credit cards. Not at first. When I found out, I should have said something. I should have stopped it. But you did not. No, her voice broke. I was scared. I was so scared of becoming you. Of having Mom turn on me the way she turned on you. I felt something shift in my chest. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But recognition. So you helped her hurt me, I said. To protect yourself. Yes. Vanessa wiped her eyes. I am not asking you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know. I understand now why you did what you did. And I am sorry for all of it. We stood there. Two sisters on opposite sides of a divide that might never fully close. I cannot forgive you right now, I said finally. Maybe not ever. But I understand why you did it. Fear makes people do terrible things. I paused. Look at Mom. Vanessa nodded. If you ever want to talk, I am here. I need time. I know. We did not hug. Did not make promises. Just nodded at each other and walked to our separate cars. It was not closure. But it was honest. That was more than we had ever had before. A week later, the full picture emerged. My aunt called me with updates. She had become my unofficial liaison to the family chaos I had left behind. Your mother found out about the will, my aunt said. Thomas Jameson sent her the notification. How did she take it? A pause. She called your grandmother screaming. Threatened to sue. Threatened to contest. Said Eleanor was senile and being manipulated. And what did Grandma say? One sentence. Then she hung up. What was the sentence? My aunt's voice held something like admiration. You made your choices for 28 years. I have made mine. I let that sink in. What about Dad? Moved out. He is staying with his brother. The divorce papers have already been filed. 30 years of marriage undone in a week. And Mom, alone. My aunt sighed. She calls everyone asking for support. Asking people to reach out to Eleanor on her behalf. Nobody answers. I should have felt triumph. I did not. Do you feel guilty? Julian asked me that night after I relayed the conversation. I thought about it. Really considered the question. No, I said finally. But I do not feel victorious either. I just feel done. Julian waited. It is like a wound that has been infected for years, I continued. What happened yesterday was the surgery. It hurts. It is ugly. But now it can actually heal. He pulled me close. Is it over? I thought about the check from my grandmother, deposited in my account. The messages of support from relatives I barely knew. The silence from the woman who gave birth to me. The explosion is over, I said. Now comes the part where we see what is left standing. Turns out, more than I expected. 2 months after Mother's Day, life found a new rhythm. My credit score, cleared of my mother's fraudulent cards, climbed to 748. My student loans dropped to $23,000. I had made a significant payment with my grandmother's gift. Not to erase the debt entirely, but to prove to myself I could handle it. Julian and I moved in together. A new apartment in Cambridge. 1 bedroom bigger than my old place. A kitchen with actual counter space. We picked it out together. No one else's opinion asked or required. My father came to see it on moving day. He brought a houseplant and a bottle of wine. His eyes were tired, but there was something lighter in them. How are you? I asked while Julian unpacked boxes in the other room. Getting there. He set the plant on the windowsill. The divorce will be finalized next month. I am staying with your uncle until I figure out my next move. And emotionally, he managed a small smile. 28 years of lies is a lot to process. But you know what? I do not regret a single day of being your father. Not one. We hugged for a long time. Sunday dinners became our new tradition. Just us. Sometimes Julian joined. Sometimes my grandmother drove down from Connecticut. Simple. Quiet. Hours. Then, 3 weeks after we moved, an envelope arrived. No return address. Postmarked from Ohio. Inside was a single sheet of paper. A letter. Dear Miss Vance, I received your DNA profile through a genealogy service and discovered we share a biological connection. My name is Michael. I believe I may be your father. I am not seeking anything from you. I just thought you should know I exist. If you ever want to talk, I am here. A phone number was printed at the bottom. I stared at the letter for 3 days before showing it to Julian. What are you thinking? He asked. I do not know. I have spent 28 years with one father. Now there might be 2. Michael's letter was careful, respectful. He was not demanding a relationship or inserting himself into my life. He was simply making himself known. According to the brief details he had shared, he and my mother had been co-workers nearly 30 years ago. A brief relationship. She broke it off suddenly, and he never knew why. He had moved to Ohio, built a life, had other children. When a relative mentioned the family scandal that had spread through social media whispers and gossip, he had taken a DNA test. The match was conclusive. He is not asking to be your father, Julian said carefully. Richard is your dad. This guy knows that. I know. But what if I want to know him someday? Not now, but eventually. Julian took my hand. You spent 28 years having other people define your identity. Your mother decided who you were supposed to be. Your family believed her. He squeezed gently. This is your choice. Nobody else's. I thought about that for a long time. Then I opened my laptop and composed a short email. Dear Michael, I received your letter. Thank you for reaching out with such respect. I am not ready to meet or talk yet. I need time to process everything. But I wanted you to know that I appreciate you not pushing. I will reach out when and if I am ready. For now, thank you for letting me know you exist. I hit send. Then I closed the laptop and made dinner. Some answers can wait. I had already found the ones that mattered most. She showed up on a Tuesday. I was leaving my office building when I saw her standing by the entrance. Thinner than I remembered. Older. The designer clothes replaced by something simpler. Selena. I stopped walking. I have been trying to reach you, she said. You blocked my number. My emails bounced back. That is intentional. I know. She took a step forward. I have been thinking a lot about everything. And I wanted to say, stop. She froze. You do not get to do this, I said calmly. You do not get to show up at my workplace and pretend we are having a reconciliation moment. That is not how boundaries work. I am your mother. You are the woman who stole from me, lied about me, and psychologically abused me for 28 years because you could not face your own guilt. I kept my voice even. We are not having coffee and talking things through. We are not going to family therapy. We are nothing. You cannot just cut me out forever. I am not cutting you out forever. I am cutting you out until you learn that my no means no. I held her gaze. That might be forever. That is your choice now. Not mine. Her face crumpled. For a moment, I saw the 17-year-old girl who had made a mistake and spent decades trying to bury it. But sympathy and boundaries are not mutually exclusive. Goodbye, Mom. I walked past her to my car. She did not follow. As I pulled out of the parking lot, I caught a glimpse of her in the rearview mirror. Still standing there, watching me go. My hands were steady on the steering wheel. For the first time in my life, they were not shaking. That is what freedom feels like. If you are listening to this story and seeing yourself in it, I want to tell you something. You are not what they call you. You are not the disappointment. You are not the difficult one. You are not the problem child or the black sheep or whatever label the people who should love you chose to stick on you instead of examining their own failures. Sometimes the people closest to us are the ones who hurt us the most. And setting boundaries with them, refusing to absorb their cruelty, is not selfish. It is survival. My mother sent me a bill for $347,000. She calculated the cost of my diapers and my braces and my birthday parties. But she never calculated the cost of what she did to me. The years of wondering why I was not good enough. The nights crying alone. The opportunities stolen. The confidence crushed. There is no price tag for that. And there is nothing she can pay to get me back. I do not know what the future holds. Maybe someday I will speak to her again. Maybe I will not. But for the first time in my life, that is my choice, not hers. My father and I have dinner every Sunday. My grandmother calls every Wednesday. I am slowly rebuilding connections with cousins and aunts who finally see me clearly. And Julian, he asked me last week if I wanted to look at engagement rings. I said yes. Life goes on. Different. Better. Mine. So, if you are out there trapped in your own version of this story, know that there is another side. Know that truth has power. Know that boundaries are bridges to freedom. You are worth more than the people who failed to love you. I am Selena Vance, and my bill is paid in full. Thank you for staying with me through this story. If any part of it resonated with you, if you have ever felt like the disappointment in your own family, drop a comment. Tell me your story. Sometimes just saying "me too" is enough. And if you want more stories like this, about family drama, about justice, about finding your voice, check out the videos in the description. There is a whole playlist waiting for you. Remember, your worth is not determined by those who failed to see it. I am Selena Vance, and my bill is paid in full.